So I finished Penacony, completing the story, finishing most of the side quests, maxing the Clocky statue, and getting most of all the chests around Penacony. In my opinion, Penacony has to be one of my favorite planets so far compared to Xianzhou and Jarlio 6. They're good planets with their content, but I think Penacony is the best so far. I mean, meeting Acheron, god damn, she is so cool. And she looks like a total babe. I'm going to be saving all my pulls for her because we have yet to see her in action in story. Black Swan, I have her and she's really good. She can definitely keep a memo of me in her memory because all she's going to see is me staring at her. I mean, you got Himiko, Kafka, and now Black Swan. That's a triple mommy threat. Now, Sparkle, she's pretty f***ing based. I mean, didn't you see why the internet was exploding because of her? I think it's based. Like, look at her interaction with Aventurine.
You Sigonians are notorious throughout the entire universe. Liars, thieves, social manipulators, wolves in sheep's clothing. You're really living up to the reputation. How did you do it, little peacock? Did you strip yourself naked? Apologize to him on your knees, and promise that the IPC would never harm Penacony? Listen, little peacock.
Sparkle looks kind of familiar. Aventurine? He's not for me, but I think he's a sly person. Maybe the same level as Sampo Koski? Maybe not. I wasn't really interested, but for real though, where'd he get those shades? Firefly? Well, she's pretty cute. She takes us around Penacony. She gambles with us. And she takes us onto a rooftop. She talks about herself as well. Wait, is this a date? Yeah, she's pretty cute, but this song that plays in the background, damn, it is good. Hold up.
Let my heart bravely spread the way, soaring past the night, to trace the primal light.
This is pretty wholesome. I like this story. Sam is pretty cool too. I hope he's not a disappointment when his character drops, right? Besides the main story, which is very good, the side quests are phenomenal. I like that Penacony is where dreams can come true, living lavishly, but interacting with each NPC and reading their stories, Penacony is actually really dark. Like, the people who wrote these side quests at Hoyo and got it approved, that's based. I'm going to be yapping a bit, and spoilers if you haven't completed the side quests. Let's talk about the main 4 side quests that appear in Fate's Atlas. Kokona, who is a regular saleswoman who sells luxury goods to people, but there's more to her story. She forgets that her dream was to be a singer, and I'll be quite frank, this subquest hurts a lot because it hits close to home. She tells her parents that her dream is to be a singer and that's what she wants to do, but they don't support that, and they tell her to wake up because it's delusional and you should work at a luxury goods store because they have connections to the family. Kokona doesn't have a choice, so she has to work at this luxury goods store. However, she gets ridiculed by her boss because she keeps telling the truth about these faulty products that they're selling, and her boss wants her to lie about it to the customers because they're all rich in the end, so why not just rob out of their money anyways? Her coworkers are envious of her because of how good her voice is, how she can interact with customers with ease while they struggle, so they bully her. Kokona then questions herself and her life. What is my life's purpose? Why do I even bother living anymore? She abandons her dream a long time ago and it's already too late to go back. Kokona comes very close to taking her own life until we as the player stop her, holding her, promising her not to give up when there is more to life than this, to take a challenge and fight the odds. Kokona decides to take this chance with us, the player, and change her life. She begins to spread her own wings, chasing her dream again, and thus singing to the crowds of people. Tiznochik. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but she is a ruler who's sincere, is empathetic, and highly respected by the people of Penacony. However, underneath this persona is a forgotten memory of her past as a tyrant of Pastrak, filled with paranoia due to the death of her older brother being usurped by her non-related second sister. She murdered millions of innocent lives after taking back the throne of her sister. For this reason, she couldn't trust anyone because at every moment she's filled with paranoia that royalty will shut her down, kick her out of the throne, and eventually do the same to her older brother. For those who are close to her or know too much, well, you already know what would happen to you. It's a sad, hidden truth that is put away due to the families not wanting her to remember those horrific truths, but it's an inevitable sin that she has to face herself. She wants forgiveness, but there are those who don't want to forgive, and as the player, you're given two choices: to forgive or to have her pay for her sins, and that is up to you to pick. Third, Leslie Dean, who is the golden star that people love to see. He's stuck in Penacony, and he doesn't know why he can't wake up. He wants us to investigate what's wrong with him. We find out when we go to his room, Leslie Dean has already passed away, but his fans, at the request to the family, that they want him to keep him alive as a dream bubble. However, when Leslie learns about this, he wants to help those fans face reality that he has already passed away, and he shouldn't be this idol that should be praised because that's not how highly he thinks about himself. Eventually, this leads up to where he meets his assistant, who is longly in love with Leslie. He soon realizes this too late in the past, but now in the present, he confesses his true feelings to his assistant, and what do you know? It's a good story, and good endings come with good intentions. With no regrets, he soon vanishes and ends this side story wholesomely. Saving the best for last, Mr. Chadwick. Now, in my opinion, out of the four, this is probably one of the saddest, and it's just truly sad. Mr. Chadwick is a curious researcher in the Genius Society, in which, if you have forgotten, it's people like Ron May, Herta, and Screwlum. He finds out that he's being watched and silenced by the family, but he wants to know why this is happening. When you go later into the story, with the help of Screwlum, because you have to report this to Screwlum and Herta, we go deep into his memory that he was just an innocent researcher with talents and a genius to be, in fact. He's made a powerful weapon to wipe out enemies that are threatening to them. However, this powerful weapon that Chadwick has made has wiped innocent lives with the enemies as a collateral. It wasn't his choice, but the authorities. And the authorities didn't care if they killed countless innocents. But Chadwick was being used, and he had felt guilty because he made the powerful weapon. And he indirectly wiped out innocent lives because of it. So he carries his guilt every time he looks at himself in the mirror. He went into hiding, knowing that he has murdered countless innocent lives, living in this guilt. Chadwick has already passed away for 2 Ambers ago, and that could be decades, centuries, or who knows for how long. But the family in Penacony made him to a dream bubble, and now he stays in Penacony for the rest of his life in agony, forgotten. Screwlum comes in clutch, helps him get out of Penacony, transporting his dream bubble into Herta's space station. He is soon relieved out of his own misery and no longer have to feeling guilt. He passes this knowledge to Herta about the weapon as he disappears in peace. Without Screwlum, he would still be in Penacony, suffering, forgotten, and don't even know where he'd be with no interaction to the outside world. All these side quests all have something in common. They all have forgotten a piece of themselves, stuck in a timeless loop called Penacony. False feelings of happiness and doubt of purpose. These side quests question if Penacony is truly the world of dreams. Penacony? More like Penacony. Overall, Penacony has been a blast to play through. One part I forgot to mention is this song after the death of Firefly. Other than that, like and subscribe if you like the video.
Go. こっちよ。